Hey, in this video, we're going to be backing up virtual machines on the Azure platform. Let's get on to it. So I'm here on the Azure platform, and we're going to open up the Azure CLI. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create two virtual machines, and one is going to be the master machine, and the other one is going to be the client machine. And in the client machine is where we're gonna just destroy stuff. We're gonna back up the client machine, and we're gonna collect some information about the client machine and save it into the master machine, so we can keep things on record, and we can compare before and after the client machine has been restored. All right. So I have a command pre-made to create two virtual machines. At the moment, I don't have any resources. So let's go ahead and click that. Let's create a password. Oops. If my nose if I sound a little nasally, it's only because I'm sick at the moment, so forgive me for that. What do we have? Okay, I think I know. I always forget to create a resource group. This is likely the issue. And we're gonna name it resource group RHEL. And we're gonna have it in East US 2. And save it in that data center. Let's give it a try again. Put in my password. Hopefully it's correct. Okay, now we're gonna wait while it creates the two virtual machines, and we'll get on to renaming the host name and indicate that it's which one's the master machine and which one's a client machine. Okay, so we've successfully created the two virtual machines. We're just gonna refresh the dashboard, and here they are. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna test these machines out and SSH into both of these. Username, I have it set up as Azure user, and we're gonna grab the public IP address. Password, and we're gonna go under as the root user. And we're gonna change the host name by appending hyphen master to the end of it. So it's gonna be hostname ctl set hostname VM L00 hyphen master. Okay. And we're gonna do the same thing for the client machine. I'm gonna SSH into that. SSH Azure user at yes. Put in my password here. And we're gonna go under, we're gonna switch to the root. I'm gonna switch to root. And same thing as before, his name CTO, set his name, and VM RHEL -0. And we're gonna append client to that. Okay. Before we restart, and so we can reflect the changes, let's first create a directory in the master machine, and this in the root directory, and this is gonna be where we're gonna save our collections from the client machine. Okay. List here. Client. Okay, so that's good. And in the client machine, we're gonna create a directory called before. Okay, cool. Alright, let's go ahead and restart this. And restart this. And we're gonna get disconnected soon. We'll be able to see that here. There we go. And there we go. Okay, as we can see in our notification, it's been reset. Let's go ahead and try to reconnect. That's good. Excuse me. Oops. Okay, cool. So we're reconnected. And as you can see, it says here, our virtual machine name, and we have master appended to it. And same thing for here, except we have client. I just want to differentiate the two, so then it's easy to see which one we're on here. By the way, one thing to note is that when you're building the virtual machines the way I did through the CLI, it may fail a few times because there's a flag called count, and it's currently on preview, which means it's very buggy. It's not a full feature thing that Azure has right now, so it's not, I guess you can call it, it's like a beta version or something. But yeah, it may fail a few times, and you'll have to remove the virtual machines and the disks attached to it, and you're gonna have to re-execute it, or just do it manually through the dashboard, which is, you'll less likely have it failed if you were to do it manually. But anyways, that's just something I wanted to know. What I wanted to see here is so I wanted to check. Yeah, I was looking for this. So already that's there. Okay. Okay, so that's there. So the before directory is there. I just want to make sure before we start executing the following commands and collecting everything. And we're going to switch to root. Okay, switch to root. Cool. Alright, so we're going to use 3 commands to collect some information, and the first command is going to be dnf and list installed. And we're going to redirect that into before, and we're going to name it as installed-list. And this is going to collect everything that's currently installed in the client machine, all the packages that's been installed. And we can check out what populated that. You can see these are all the packages that's currently installed in this machine. And the second command is going to be DNF check update. And we're going to redirect that into the before directory. Excuse me. Update.text. And this one takes a while because it's looking through the packages in the machine and checking what needs to be updated. But let's check what populated this file. Yep. See, this is the location of the repo. These are the versions, and these are the name of the packages. Okay, and finally we're gonna have the third command. This is the Red Hat Package Manager, and we're gonna query all and redirect that to before, and let's name it package list.txt. And this one is quick because the database, RHEL has a database of all the package lists from the repo. So let's check out what's in it. And this is what you'll get here. And these are the three things that we're gonna compare from before and after restoring our virtual machine. All right. And now we're gonna take everything in the before directory and we're gonna send it through the network and into the master machine. We're gonna use secure copy for this and recursively add everything. In our before, our source is our before directory, and then our private IP, the source, I mean not the source, the destination private IP is this, our master machine, and then colon, and then, hold on. Okay, colon. It's going to be in the machine in the root directory called client VM. So that's where we're going to save it. Okay, yeah. It's not working. If this doesn't work, then I probably have, I think it's default to disable root access, and I have to enable it in the master machine, right? I have to enable, I have to give it a root, I have to give the root a kind of password and enable it. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna vim to Etsy SSH. Oops. we're gonna look for permit root login. Right here. I'm not gonna uncomment it. I'm just gonna create another line. We're gonna say yes. We're gonna restart the SSH daemon service. This is systemctl. Restart SSH D. And then let's look at the status of this. Make sure it's up and running. And then we're gonna give the root account a password. Alright, I'm just gonna use the same password I used before. Okay, now let's give it a try. There we go. So let's LS into, no, it's the client VM. And there you have it. The before directory is right there. Now let's look at the contents and compare it with the client machine. And into before. As you can see, check update is there, install this package, same thing, right? You got these right here. Okay. Let's cat into them to make sure that the contents are all there. Yep, same thing. And what's the other one? Installed. Yep. And let's do package list. Yep. Alrighty, we're ready to go. Now what we're gonna do is back up this client machine. Okay. We're gonna click over to the virtual machine, scroll down on the side panel under backup, click on backup, and it's gonna prompt you to create an account for for recovery service vault. Okay, now I'm gonna name this, I'm gonna change the name of this into RHEL backups. And you have to create this, so make sure you create it and attach it to, you can attach it to whatever resource group. I'm gonna use the same resource group as the virtual machines. I have my standard is grayed out, so I can't click on that, but you have the option to go for enhanced. And I'm gonna just default everything. Yeah, I'm gonna edit this policy because it's defaulted to hourly, and I don't want that. I'm just gonna have it set to once a week. I guess that's the longest. Leave everything as default because I'm gonna delete this right after I finish this video. Now, having this backup, there's this thing called soft deletion. So it's gonna be difficult to delete these things because it's gonna prompt you to tell you that you're not able to immediately delete this backup. You'll have to wait 14 days or however many days you have this set up for. But there's a way around that, which I'm going to show at the end of this video, how to immediately delete this backup. Leave everything as default and just click OK. Scroll down. This itself is not creating the backup. We have to, like I said, create this account for Recovery Services Vault and enable backup for this particular virtual machine. That's all it's doing. Once this is done, then we can go ahead and start the backup. And we'll just wait until this completes, and then we'll move forward in backing this system up at its current state. Okay, so our setup is completed. Let's see what happens when we go to resources. And as you can see, we're in RHEL backups, and it's created this blade. This blade is Recovery Services Backups. This is so we can see all our backups. This one in particular is for RHEL that we just created. Okay, now we're going to back up our machine. And we do that by going to our virtual machine, go to backup, and backup, click on backup now. You could change this, but I want to show you, if you have it saved for a month, it's gonna halt you from deleting it right away. And because it's set up as a soft deletion, it's gonna ask you to wait for a month to have it deleted on its own. But for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna extend it to a month. All right, so I can show you that. This may take a while, this step, because it's backing up the entire virtual machine, everything that's inside it, so it may take a while. Double check the status of it by going to the virtual machine, going to backup, and then backup, and right here just click on view jobs. This is the trigger, and the process of backing up is right here, and this is going to take a while. And one thing to note is that when you're backing up a virtual machine, it could be in any state, rather whether it's running or deallocated, that doesn't matter. However, when you are restoring a virtual machine from the backup, only then does the virtual machine have to be deallocated. It has to be in that state. All right. Okay. The backup of our client machine has been finally completed. As you can see, it took 27 minutes, about a half an hour. Now we're gonna make some changes. Let's see, it's the public IP. Let's do client left. 63. I'll log in with my password. Switch user. Okay. And password for this one. Okay. Alright, so client machine is backed up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 2 restores for this video. One restore is, let's pretend we're doing like some patching for Linux machine, and the patching didn't go well, and we want to revert back to our original state. And the second restore is when the machine is unusable, like it crashed for some reason. Now we're gonna do a DNF, and we're gonna update all the packages that was listed in the check update command. All right, and we're going to say yes to all. So while we let it do its thing, shouldn't take long. We're gonna create another directory called after. This is gonna be just like our before directory. We're just gonna list all the updated packages, and all that stuff, everything that's been updated. And then we're gonna secure copy that into our after directory into our master machine, just to keep it handy. And then we're gonna delete we currently still have our before directory in our client machine. We're gonna delete that. So afterwards we're gonna restore it, and we're gonna check if the hour before directory have been restored and our packages were not downgraded, but our packages were reverted back to the original version rather than the updated version. And again, when you're restoring a virtual machine on the Azure platform, the virtual machine itself has to be stopped and deallocated first. It can't be attached or running on anything. Okay, so that's completed, and we're gonna, before we forget, let's just check. Yeah, see, that's still there. There we go. Recursive force, and let's see if it's still there. It's not. Okay, let's make a directory called after. And that's created. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing as we did before, which is the DNF list installed. And we're going to redirect that into after install, we're going to name it installed list of text. Alright. And we'll do the same thing. Check update. This shouldn't say much. It should say everything's updated. Update. Let's do cat on the first two. See what populated it. Okay. And for this one, the current running haven't been updated because we have to reboot the system first. So we'll do that afterwards and double check. But let's do the last one, which is RPM query all redirect and after, and we'll call it package list.txt. And let's do a count on that. Okay, let's do a reboot on the client machine here. Restart. Yes. We should see our client machine disconnected soon. So we're gonna reboot that, and then we're gonna run the check update command, and rather than overwriting redirect overwrite, we'll redirect append, just so we can collect that information. But I want to see what it outputs first. And once we're done with that, we're gonna do a secure copy for our after directory, and then we're gonna deallocate and restore. Okay, let's SSH it's running. There we go. So, clear. Let's run the command on its own first, see the outputs. Okay, we don't have that message again. So let's append to it on what was after check update. Okay. We got that done. Now we're gonna do secure copy just like before. Recursively for our after. And we're gonna get the private IP address, colon, and the client VM. Is that correct? LS. Yes, in our client VM. Password. And successfully transferred. So let's see. Client VM after. There we go. Yep, everything's in there. Let's take a look at what the file we just saw, which is the check update. Let's count that. Yep, looks correct. Okay, cool. Did we remove our before? We did, right? We just have the after right here. Just double check. Okay, cool. We deleted our before directory. Okay, so now, just to reiterate, I want to make sure, so our client machine has now been updated, and our before directory has been deleted. So let's kind of compare our current client and our before versions. So let's see, DNF list. DNF list install. Okay. And let's do okay, how about let's look at what needed to be updated in our old version. So XFS dump. XFS dump. So let's take a look at that. XFS dump. It was 3.1.12-4E19, and that got updated to 3.1.12-4. I think that's a L9_3. So before there was no underscore. I mean, yeah, before there was no underscore, now there is an _3. So that's the minor version. that got updated. So I'm not gonna look at each packages, but we're just gonna use XFS dump as our reference, right? We're gonna deallocate this machine. Okay. So XFS dump on this version has an _3 on the client version, the updated version, but before it didn't have an _3, so we'll use that as a reference point. And we have the before directory deleted in this client machine, so we're going to deallocate this, right? I'm going to stop. Okay, looks like it's been deallocated. Let's wait until this notification will show its check mark. Okay, so it's been deallocated, right? Refresh. Let's refresh, deallocate it. So let's restore this machine by clicking on the virtual machine. Going back up, and we're gonna click restore VM. We're gonna click on select and click on our last snapshot and click OK. And it's important that we're not gonna create an additional virtual machine. What we're doing is replacing this client machine. So make sure you have that clicked. Staging location. Oh, I forgot about this. So you're gonna need a staging location. So one of the ways to do this is to create a storage blob account within Azure. I'm gonna click open a tab. Actually, I'm gonna do it within this. I'll just create a storage account. I'm gonna create a storage account here. Right. I use an existing one because I'm gonna delete everything. And we're gonna type it. It's RHEL. It can only be lowercase and numbers. There we go. And it's important that you use the same region. Everything I'm doing here has been set up to region East US 2. We're gonna use local redundant storage because we don't need redundancy really, and it's the cheapest one here. Click next. I'm gonna keep it hot because this won't be like a long-term thing. We're not archiving it. And keep everything else default. This is the soft blob, soft delete I was talking about. Just keep everything at default. I'm leaving them checked, so just in case you accidentally have it checked, I'll show you how to remove it. Keep everything default. Okay. So it looks like everything's good. There's no alerts, and let's go ahead and create this blob. Okay, looks like it's completed. Let's double check. Alright, we got our RHEL blob. Now let's go back to our virtual machine and restore to the previous snapshot. Okay, just like before, we're gonna do replace existing. Staging location. As you can see, this is our RHEL blob that we just created, 311. Yeah, and let's restore. Okay, that's been triggered. Now if you want to see like the progress of the restore, you're gonna click on the virtual machine, back up, view jobs, and see the progress right here. And every once in a while, just click refresh to see the status of it. Okay, the restore just completed. And let's go ahead and check out the virtual machine. Let's go ahead and start it. Okay. Let's go ahead. See the switch user. If this works, we should be able to see our before directory. Right? Before. And it's there. Yep, it's there. It's been restored. Right. There it is before. We don't see the after, which is a good sign. But let's see what's inside it. Okay. Let's run the command check update. We should be able to see packages that needs to be updated. Yep, it's all there. Let's see. Let's take a look at our XFS dump. XFS dump. XSF dump. There we go. There's no _3. So we've definitely restored it. All right. And let's do something a little bit more fun, and that'll like deem this virtual machine as inoperable. Like, let's crash. Let's make a huge mess here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move our boot -grub to grub configuration file inside of option. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's in there. And let's do the I'm sorry for laughing. It's just sometimes it's scary to do this. Let's recursively remove everything in our root directory. Okay, we're gonna use that flag, which is a good thing. No preserve root, and let it do its thing. And I'm gonna turn off the virtual machine and try to turn it back on. And I'm gonna let the process go for like 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, if it's not turning on or I can't connect to it, then I think it's safe to say that the machine is not operable. Like, you just can't access it, and then we'll restore it to the previous snapshot. Okay. Let's restart. Sometimes it's scary. Okay, let's restart. Yeah. Okay. Okay, it says it successfully restarted. But the weird thing is that usually when I restart, I will get kicked. My remote connection would kick me off, but that didn't happen here. It's like frozen. I can't type anything. So I'm gonna close this panel. Yes, tail panel. And then we're gonna create the panel again, SSH. Well, let's see the status of this machine. It's running. It says it's running. But I doubt I can connect to it. Alright. It's probably like in a loop or something. I'm gonna SSH 1110. Yep, that's it. And it's just not. I'm just not gonna be able to connect to it. Okay, we got our first timeout. Let's try again. Try one more time. If it gives me a timeout again, I'm gonna, instead of restarting, I'm gonna deallocate, stop the virtual machine, and then turn it back on. See if that works. Okay, let's skip over the timer. I got timed out again. I'm gonna turn off this machine and then turn it back on. And then we'll do the timer thing. I just want to make sure that this machine is completely broken. Okay. Successfully stopped. Now let's start the machine. So, actually it took a really long time, but it says it started. Let's see. Let's refresh. It says it's running. It took about 20 minutes for the notification to say that it started up. I think it's still looped at the boot. What we can try is to connect through Bastion to see any visual. We'll just give it a try just to make sure, and then we'll restore it. Okay, it timed out. Let's try Bastion. Azure user and okay, open a new browser. Pop-up blocker is preventing. Okay. Connection error. Okay, so I hope that's enough to confirm that it's not operable. So we're going to go ahead and deallocate, and we're going to restore this machine. Let me close this panel. Okay, it's been fully stopped. Let's see that. Okay, click on the virtual machine like before, go to backup, and we're gonna go to restore. Select the restore point that you want to restore. Click OK. Same thing as before, replace existing one. Staging location, RHEL blob 311, and we're gonna go ahead and restore. Okay, it's been triggered. Let's check out the job. Should be right here. See the progression. Okay, looks like the restoration is completed now. And let's go ahead and start our virtual machine here. Hold on. I'm gonna SSH. We can ping 10.0.0.4. And we're logged in finally. It's up and running. Let's just wait for the notification to catch up. Oops. Let's wait for the notification to catch up here. It's able to send some ping packets. Let's refresh, make sure. Let's check the status of it. Looks like it's running. Okay. Let's go ahead and connect to it. Switch user, clear, LS. Everything seems to be running fine, and we should be able to see our before. Yep, everything looks good. Yep, everything's there. Let's go ahead, DNF, listen, install. Let's look at XFS dump. Yep, there's no _3. Looks like everything's back to normal. Okay, now we know that that all works. What we're gonna do is we are going to, I'm gonna call my TMUX session, and we're gonna delete everything. Okay, so no. TMUX kill session clear. You're gonna, when you try to delete everything that's attached to the resource group, it's gonna come out with an error. Resource group. Oh, forgot that. Yes. It should come out with an error, but that's only because it's not able to delete the recovery vault. It's not able to delete the backup because it's because of the soft delete option. That prevents you from accidentally deleting backups. And if you do intend to delete it, you would have to wait the given amount of days that you put in when you set it up, set the backup up. And let's just wait until we see that error. Okay, there you go. Here's the error that I mentioned. It did delete some resources, but not all of it. And to save money for the purpose of this video, we're trying to save money and remove all resources. As you can see, the virtual machines have been deleted, but not everything. What we want is we want to remove this. And let's try to delete it from here, and I'll show you that you can't delete it. As you can see, it failed here. And it specifies in both cases on the dashboard and in the CLI why it wasn't able to delete. It shows here recovery services vault and RHEL backups. That's the name of the recovery vault that I gave it when we set it up. And let's see it here, recovery service vaults. Right, so how do we remove it? What you're gonna want to do is go to the resource group and then click on the recovery vault. And what you want to look for is protected items, backup items, and then click on Azure Virtual Machine, which is the backup that we had set it up for. Now, all the way to the right, there's an ellipses here that you want to click on, and then it'll unveil some options that you can go through. The first thing you need to do, because it's set up to back up every week, you're going to want to stop that. So click on Stop Backup. And what you're going to do, you can just select this, delete backup data, but I want to show you something else. But if you select delete backup data, it'll completely delete everything. And you're going to have to give it a reason why you're doing this. You can just click others and leave the rest blank. So you're going to click Stop Backup. You're going to have to wait for it to stop the schedule backups. So it stopped. Now there should be an option to delete the backup now, unless it's not done. So when you're right here, what you can do is click View Details and View Jobs. Okay, it's disabled already. Now let's go back. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it takes a while, not too long, but once you see delete backup available, you're gonna click that. Now remember when I mentioned at the drop down that you can click the delete backup option? You can skip that entire step by selecting the delete backup data. But I just wanted to show you in case you just, rushed through it and disabled it instead of deleting it. You'll have to go back to the ellipses and then you're going to click on delete backup. You're going to have to paste the name of the backup item, which was, and to get this name, it'll populate right here. So you just need to copy this and then paste it. If you typed it wrong, it'll show you that red message there. Then you can go ahead and just click delete. And then we'll just wait for the backups to be deleted, and then we're going to remove the resource group in the CLI and see if we were able to delete everything. Okay, so we're able to delete this, and let's refresh and let's see if it still populates. I guess it's still in the process. Because you can't select this. But let's go ahead and remove our resource group in the CLI is called RHEL hyphen RHEL. Yes. Let's check out our resource group here. Okay. It looks like the virtual machine backups is removed here. It's definitely gonna work this time. Let's refresh here. Okay. I wanna delete this one too. Now let's do things one at a time. Okay, so it looks like the resource group have been successfully deleted. Let's go ahead and refresh this, and indeed it did get deleted. I'm gonna also delete this resource group. And once this is deleted, I'll show you that it's been deleted. You should not have any resources that charges you anything. And then we're done. Okay, and there we go. It's been deleted. Everything is cleared out. Except for this, obviously, but I leave that on. But looks like we are good to go. Thank you for watching. Hope you learned something.